It's another World Cup week.
Yes, it
Thank
is.
you, Andrew.
Exciting stuff. Hey, good to see you,
Yes,
Vincent.
we want to talk about
Number 3.
third runway.
Throwing down the third runway. That's right. Biggest infrastructure project in the history of Hong Kong.
Really?
That's what they're saying.
Not the NENTNDA?
No, they're saying this is going to be the biggest infrastructure project ever. They're going to have to go dig up a whole big whole part of the ocean and then fill it all in and lay down that third runway. And I mean, the report, we've been waiting for this report for ages.
Yes.
I mean, Harbour Times is going to have a big story on it this Friday coming up. And it's proven to be very controversial.
Yes.
But, there's everything about the environment, about the cost, about the need. But you know what? What I want to talk about a little bit today is this document has come out now, and it was commissioned by the government. And there's a concern about how the government is putting consultation papers together these days. The Energy Fuel Mix one, the company they chose to do it, was ultimately allied with one of the companies that would be a big beneficiary if the first option was chosen.
Which might be.
Which might be, yeah. Well, they were owned by them. They were actually, there was a clear line of ownership.
If they
recently changed.
If they didn't choose that option, then they might not.
Yeah, and I mean, nobody seems to be interested in that option in terms of everybody that's made their views publicly known.
Yes.
So we'll see how that goes.
Yes.
But for the airport, a company named Mott MacDonald did the report for the airport, and they've been doing work at the airport,
long
time. I mean,
Yes.
and so again, the government seems to be picking people to do these consultations that have clear conflict of interest. If these guys would do the consultation and say, and we won't be involved in any of the bidding on future projects or future contracts related to this project, okay, fine. But, it just seems like there's a lot more conflict of interest creeping in here and there. You've got Victor So, the chairman of Shui On Construction Group, who's setting up the airport authority for 1 year. Is he going to say that his company's not going to bid on any of those construction contracts when the third runway comes down the pipe? I don't think so. I mean, it just seems like people aren't putting enough thought into the conflict of interests that seem to be popping up more and more often.
Well, that is more difficult. But I think there's one thing that is really, really easy to understand.
Yeah.
And it could really arouse public sympathy. Is the one and only, one of a kind, the Hong Kong dolphin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, people are excited, yeah.
They said with the third runway,
yeah,
the dolphin will swim away.
Yeah.
And then they said maybe we can build a marine parks as a compensation.
Yeah.
But the problem is the marine parks, if it will go ahead, the earliest date they can complete this is 2023.
Yeah. That's a long time for the dolphins to...
But I don't think the dolphin swim away, and then you can tell the dolphin, oh, come back in 2020.
Just fire a little note. By the way, your place is ready. Come on back.
Yeah, I don't think so.
There is.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
And this is very easy to understand.
Yeah.
They swim away, they won't come back.
Yeah. Well, there is precedent because when they built the airport in the first place.
Yes.
And I remember there used to be these debates between Howard Eng from the Airport Authority and Andy Cornish, who was with the WWF. Neither one of those guys are still with those organizations. Howard Eng is running the airport in Toronto now. He's the head of that organization, Toronto Pearson International Airport. Andy Cornish has gone independent. He's no longer with the WWF. But they used to have these debates, and one of the things that came out of that was because when you have the airport there, you have to have a protected area where boats are not allowed to go for security purposes. And that, in effect, created a big marine park that became biologically very rich. You put a third runway in, you have to create an even bigger security zone. So you will, in effect, create another marine park, even if you don't call it that. The question is...
During the construction.
But during the construction.
During the construction.
Will that be the death knell of the pink dolphins? Will they rebound after, from 2023 onwards? That is the
I agree.
question.
After the airport is built, then you can have a bigger marine park. That I understand.
Yeah.
But the problem is during
the
construction.
Do you finish off the dolphins? If they're all dead, they can't come back.
Yes.
So that'll be the big question, and I think that's what people really got to look at.
Well, I think the key today, or the key word for today, should be ecology.
Yeah, okay. I'm up for that.
Yeah, I think ecology is a very big issue.
I did my undergraduate in ecology. I'm big on it.
All right, okay.
All right, ecology.
All right.
All right, cheers, Vincent.